How long have you been tattooing?
I have now been tattooing for 15 or 16 years. I forget.
I think you're at 16 because I'm at 15.
That shit happens so fast, dude.
Wait, how old are you?
15. I am 36 and a half.
So you have been, like me, you've been, well, half your life?
Half our lives.
Half our lives. I've been in tattoo shops for 18 and tattooing for 15.
How did you get into tattooing?
I hate answering this question. The time was about 2006. Inked and LA, not even LA Ink, Miami Ink
Ink.
were the hottest thing coming through the airwaves. I was a piece of punk rock kid that had extreme ADHD, and school just got to be too much of a thing for me, and so I was like, I used to draw too, to be fair.
Like hand turkeys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only draw at Thanksgiving, so.
Seasonal art is what I called it. I used to always draw pinup girls on letters and stuff that I was writing in class, and I started getting into I want to say that's when I even learned who Sailor Jerry was around that time. So I used to draw a lot of what I thought were traditional, but it was probably so bad. One of my friends in school, this is gross, but she was dating a guy who was a whole ass adult that worked at a shop.
It was cool back then.
Yeah, dude, it was. Isn't that fucking gross? So I ended up going with one of my friends to get their first tattoo, and I was like, this seems like a safe environment.
Oh, I want this.
So I asked for an apprenticeship. They told me to bring back some drawings, and when I brought back drawings, I literally, I didn't even bring them on a portfolio. I brought, ripped up notebook paper. I remember I had drawn, I had these demonia,
Sick.
high heels that had a traditional dagger and a rose, and I copied it, eyeballing it. I took that in, and they gave me a job. So that's when I was 17. I apprenticed from 17 to 20, started tattooing professionally at 20, but mostly because I was just okay, this apprenticeship has been long enough. I'm f***ing out. I was done cleaning toilets at that point. And then, I've been tattooing since. A long time.
That's a long time.
I used to always be the youngest one in the shop, and now, when I talk to tattooers that are younger than me, I'm, now that person that's oh, you guys don't know how easy you have it with this Instagram. And
That's kind of tough for me to swallow. I was always the young one in any group, so it's
yeah,
now
me too,
I don't
any
get that
group.
attention, and I need that.
Well, you still act like a baby, so. How did you start tattooing?
The same thing, kind of into the whole art style and stuff. So I'd always draw a bunch of shit that I thought was cool. I did
But were
graphic
you
design.
in art classes, or did you just?
No.
Yeah, I think I took the first art.
Yeah, I
elective,
wanted to be a rock star. So in junior high, they put me in the art class because I was always doing art things and getting awards and all these big trophies. No, I'm just kidding. But
No, that was a perfect plug for your awards that are still on your mom's mantle.
I wanted to go in guitar class, and they put me in art class, and I just dropped that motherfucker. I was like, nah, I'm gonna be a rock star. But I was always drawing and doing shit in class for people, for love letters and stuff. You were saying, and
did you go to school at jail? What the fuck? You're drawing for other people.
So yeah, I was just drawing for my homies.
They were paying me in soup.
When I was about 15, I ended up getting my diploma early from high school, and then I started touring. But at the same time is when I started to really develop the tattoo style that was so in.
And was that that
that fucking early 2000s,
the traditional roses that have pointy petals? And
and then their rotting petals or whatever, there was circles.
Oh yeah, you would do the cutout of it.
The skulls had actual eyeballs in them with lids, and it was the coolest thing back then. My sister was dating a tattoo artist, and he would always see me draw and stuff. He gave me my first tattoo, and he brought it up to me. He was like, hey, I think your style's kind of similar to what we're doing. You should definitely consider it. It's great if you're touring, you could take your work with you. So I took him up on the offer about a year later when touring slowed down a little bit, and I just kind of hit the ground running. But I didn't have the classic apprenticeship that everybody has, and I was always embarrassed to say it, especially at conventions and stuff. But now it's I've met a lot of people that.
Oh, you've been always afraid to say what?
Oh yeah, that.
Don't just blow by it. Don't just blow by
know-
it. Say it. Say it.
This,
Say what you didn't have. That makes you less of an artist than me. Go ahead. Can you lean into your mic a little bit more?
A proper apprenticeship.
Oh.
Yeah. But, I mean, he was around, and so how it happened was he had me go to the
Is
shop.
that guy around for me to have a podcast with?
Well, he has since passed away if you want to go there. No,
We'll be right back.
he made sure that I knew how to tattoo properly and not cross-contaminate. So, like, I went in and he showed me everything. I would go in and scrub tubes and stuff, and he actually had an
You
apprentice
did
at
a
the
little
time.
bit of stuff.
Yeah,
a little
and I was around, and I would always go, like, take supplies because, you know, like, I was hanging around with all these artists, and they were kind of showing me and teaching me things, and I started tattooing my friends at home, and there was only one guy that was down. His name was Tucker, and it was the shittiest tattoo that I've ever done. But he was cool about it. He had a bunch of other shitty tattoos.
Oh
so.
my god, the first tattoo I did was so bad. Like it still fucking keeps me up at night. Well, I have the first one that I ever did. I don't have shorts on, or else I'd show the camera. But the first one I ever did is on my leg. But the next day I did it on a neighbor of the shop, and I remember I was like the scribbly. I remember it was the name Erica. The scribbliest name.
You wrote
Erica
Erico.
with a K. No, it was spelled right, but it's probably not even legible. And he got it on his arm. So somewhere he's out there.
Have you ever misspelled a tattoo?
Why the fuck would you ask me that? Yes, I have misspelled a tattoo. And but see, so the thing when I misspelled it is it was a walk-in tattoo. So never saw this person. Had them come in. It was like a whole ass quote. An ass quote. It was a whole ass quote. And I had them double check the spelling. I had them look at it. I had them double check when it was on them. They said it was okay. But then when I got home and was looking at the picture, I noticed something was misspelled. I left a letter out of one of the words. And I don't even want to say what the word was because I feel like this person's going to come and take everything from me. My stomach dropped through my asshole. It was, like I said, it was a walk-in, so I never saw them before. I never saw them again.
Wow.
Yeah, like who knows?
You are a piece of shit. Okay, well, I'll tell you the time that I did.
Go ahead, I'll
And
tell
then we
you.
can leave it there. It was the first shop that I was working at, and this girl came in, and she was an attractive girl, so of course I was like, oh my God. Turned out she worked at a bikini bar and all this thing, so I was all trying to be cute and stuff, and she wanted this paragraph. It was like this Shakespeare quote, and it already didn't make sense to me. I don't know how to speak Shakespeare. So I added an extra word.
What? It's extra thou?
It was but.
But.
Yeah, but.
Buddy.
And I thought it went well, you know, I was like trying to be all funny and stuff, and had her laughing, and then took the picture, and I was like, well, what do you think? And she was like, it's wrong. And I was like, what do you mean? And then my heart just fucking dropped. And
Yeah, that feeling.
dude, that was
I
that
know
was the
exactly
worst
what you
feeling in
mean
the
when
world.
You say your heart dropped.
So how I decided to try to fix it was add hearts around the tattoo. And she was not very happy, and I gave her money back and never let it happen again.
Well, James, we got a surprise for you. Michelle, come on. Michelle, come on out. It's time for your cover-up.